What is happening, my friends? I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin, and you are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, pop culture, sports, or the latest buzz, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Here on today's show, we're excited, as always, to join you for another great day, another great episode. I believe this is episode 158. Yes, we continue to keep it moving and keep growing as a independent, unbiased, and grassroots program. For those who continue to support the show, I truly thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys. To stay informed on when new episodes drop. We dropped every evening on all podcast platforms and digital and streaming platforms like Rumble. You can follow us and subscribe to our Rumble channel, the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as on YouTube at R Smooth Club Media. Okay, the letter R and then Smooth Club Media on YouTube. Share, subscribe, leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. We truly appreciate that, as well as I mentioned earlier, all podcast platforms. So wherever you get your podcast, give us 5 stars. We truly appreciate that. And you can also tune into the program on the radio airwaves weeknights at 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk out of Dallas, Georgia, as well as online on WDJYFM.com. We want to thank them as well as their continued support. Let's see, what do we have going on in today's show? An interesting question that came upon my feed was, my take on women proposing to men, right? Because we're used to always seeing men getting down on one knee and proposing to their wives, their future wives, or to their ladies. Now we're starting to see a lot of people changing the narrative, women proposing to men, because they do exist. That does happen. And the reason why I brought it up is because in a recent clip, it was she didn't go get on one knee, but she did buy an engagement ring for her fiance, Gilbert Arenas, NBA star. Him and his fiance, was at the club, and he had already proposed to her beforehand, and then she ended up surprising him at the club with an engagement ring. So then it dawned on me with the question, and I think also in this past Olympics over in Paris, there was a lady who had won, I believe, one of the track and field events. Could have been a marathon runner, or excuse me, not marathon, but at least long distance runner, and she had proposed to her long-term boyfriend. So I'm like, gets me thinking. So that question is going to come about as well. And also pastor, very well known mega pastor, Keion Henderson, I believe, is based out of Houston, Texas. He has a huge following and great word as well, great message. He is the husband of Shawnee O'Neal. For those who don't know who Shawnee O'Neal is, she is the ex-wife of basketball Hall of Famer and sports broadcaster and entrepreneur Shaquille O'Neal. He's kind of like in the back and forth because recently he had asked his congregation for money and for a specific dollar amount as well. And so, of course, when it comes to pastors asking their congregants for either money or a material item, it's like, oh, it's kind of pushy. So we're going to talk about that. And then also I want to bring up your thoughts on individuals that are wrongfully convicted. Once they are awarded a fee or money from the state that they were in prison in, is it enough? Because in my opinion, it's not. But we'll talk a little more on the program. And then lastly, there is a former English teacher who realized she was not making enough money as a school teacher. So you know what she did? She went to OnlyFans, and now she's a millionaire. Yes, she is a millionaire. So we will get it going. But before we do that, I have to shout out to one of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, Ingenious Gin. Ingenious Gin is a veteran-owned, Black-owned spirit that I'm telling you, for you gin connoisseurs and explorers out there, this is a bottle that you want to add to your collection. Now, I've said repeatedly on this program, I am an avid bourbon and whiskey lover. That is my main preference. Right now, I dab and deal in the other, spirits, just, get a little tasty in there, you know what I mean? But gin was never my preference, right? But this one right here, it has a new spin on the original gin. It's a rose gold, not a clear like normal gins are. No, normal gins are clear. This one is a rose gold gin. It is great neat. It's great on ice. It's great in a cocktail, and it is a pretty tasty. It is. They made me into a believer, and I highly recommend for you all to try this amazing bottle. Ingenious Gin. You can check it out by going to your local Spirit or ABC stores, depending on what state you're in, or you can go online at www.ingeniousgin.com. That's www.ingeniousgin.com. Now, if you're currently watching this episode, you can see I have a code, a 20% off code on the screen right here below. That code right there, if you go online and at purchase, put that code in, you'll get 20% off of your purchase. So hey, you can't beat it. Now, for those who are listening, I'm not going to read it out because you're just going to have to watch the program. I'm giving you a reason to to subscribe to the channels, man. Come on now. You're like, Arrington, you asked for too much. You already listened to your show. Guys, we got to hear your voice for a whole hour. Yes, you do. All right. Yes, you do. So anyway, I want to thank them for their counter support of the Arrington Gavin show. And also, before we go to a commercial break, look, we have to do our fun fact of the day. I'm very excited for this one. Our fun fact of the day is, I had it right here. Where'd it go? Okay, so did you know that animals can be allergic to humans? Now, we've familiar with it doing, the other way around, like, oh, I'm allergic to cats, oh, I'm allergic to dogs, that makes me sneeze, it gives me this, but not the other way around. And it's interesting because my wife and I, we have a dog, we have a Cavachon, and my wife has allergies. She's not allergic to animals, but she does have allergies, right? And we caught our dog, hey, had a little sneeze, achoo, achoo, achoo. And I'm like, oh, it's a sneeze, it's perfectly fine. And then he will like lick his paws a lot or something like that. And she said he has allergies, he needs a bender. I'm like, babe, there's nothing wrong with the dog, he's fine. It's just a sneeze. Just one sneeze doesn't mean he gotta take a bender or all that other stuff. So fast forward, because the more your wife brings it up, it's like, all right, happy wife, happy life. Let's go take him to the vet. And so that's what I did, right? I took him to the vet, and they end up saying this mofo has allergies. And I'm like, what? So he's now on his little allergy pills and stuff like that. So we give him his medication. It's a month supply, and he takes a little pill every day. And in my mind, I'm like, he has allergies, but what is he allergic to? And then when I saw this, I'm like, could it be? Could it be me? Could it be my wife? Is he allergic to something in the house? What is he allergic to? Anyway, as I continue this, yes, it's very true. It says animals can be allergic to our dead skin cells, dander. These allergic reactions can be just like ours too, including breathing difficulties and skin irritation. So, for all you ashy mugs out there, look, if you have pets and they keep on sneezing and all that stuff, it's probably because of you. So that's why it's best to moisturize. Make sure you moisturize, okay? Get those elbows, get in the cracks between those hands, because that's the main part right there. So look, that was your fun fact of the day, brought to you by the Arrington Gavin show. We will go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our first story of the day. So don't go anywhere, my friends, and do not change that dial.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. On our first story, I want to bring up well-known minister Pastor Keion Henderson. For those who are not unfamiliar with Pastor Keion Henderson, he is the senior pastor of the Lighthouse. I believe it's called the Lighthouse Church over in Houston, Texas. Very well known minister, very large, super large congregation. First of all, that it just tells you how big Texas is, because if you think about it, you have you have Bishop T.D. Jakes of the Potter's House out in Dallas. You have Joel Osteen, Lakewood, I think is his church. I think that's in either Houston or Dallas, one of the two. You also have oh man, not you have Keion over in Houston. I mean, it's a huge. You have plenty. You have loads of ministers and huge congregations out there in the Texas area. So I bring this up because recently, due to I think one of the most recent hurricanes was a Hurricane Debbie or something. Um, it caused damage to his church. Excuse me. And he had posted a video asking I think 21 if 21 of his members can come up with $2,100 because he said the number 21 is in his his mind. He spoke with the Lord and he said, hey, we can get this done in 21 days. And if 21 if 2,100 members can give $2,100, and he did the math, and that's around equivalent to $4.4 million. Now a lot of people are like, what's up? Not again. We have another typical minister that, a man of God that's asking his congregants for money, for funds, and this and that and the other. And then you have some that are, more believers like, hey, look, it's up to us to keep, to help keep the church running. The senior pastor is just, the messenger. He's the teacher, right? It's up to them, the congregants, to continue to keep that word and message across. So I want to play this video first, and then I'll read a little more of just a little more on this. So let me pull this soundbite for you guys.
That we were going to start over. And yet again, I believe God said, Keion, your faith was too small. So let me blow the building down so you can build what I put in your heart. God gave me a vision and he said, we can do it in 21 days. I'm asking 2,100 people to give $2,100 in the next 21 days. I'd ask 2,100 people to give $2,100. And the newspaper did the math, and they said Pastor Henderson accessed 20,000 members for $4.4 million. Let me even make sure that that's what it equals, because I hadn't even done the math yet. Yeah, it's 4.4. I hadn't done the math. It was what God had given me. What I forgot to do, that I'm going to do right now, is remind myself that everybody doesn't have $2,100. And the Lord convicted me on that. And I went back and I prayed about it. And I want to apologize for not offering an opportunity for people who don't have it like that. Everybody doesn't have $2,100. The Lord said, but somebody has $21. And if you go back and read the article, they'll tell you that the building was $20 million. So what does $4 million do when you have a $20 million problem? That we were going to.
So he makes a point. He makes a point, right? First of all, I'm never gonna be the person defending what the press says. I'm not a person of the press. I'm a person that I just speak what's on my mind, what's on my heart, and I just give you my opinion on a story. I'm nowhere near a part, a journalist, right? I'm not a part of the press. But what I will say is that Pastor Keion Henderson is he's been caught up saying some he's been caught up always like, ooh, I would have chose that word or I would have done that action on the pulpit. I mean, let's be honest, this was the guy that recently, I think, snapped at a lady and said, quiet her, quiet her. And it was just it was iffy. It was iffy. I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. There was another occasion, and it's leaving my brain right now, but I remember that one because that was pretty recent, pretty viral as well. So yes, do I think sometimes it's tacky for a minister to ask members for a specific dollar amount? Absolutely, right? Really, when you ask people for money in general, it's always going to be difficult, especially when you're in the church, because there was a moment where you had your old school churches. Hey, look, you put a dollar, you put however much you could afford. Now in the Bible, they always say 10%, right? 10% of your salary. I believe it's 10 or 25%. I'm getting that confused, but um, there's a certain percentage that they say to give. Um, do I think that's wrong? Not at all, because at the end of the day, for someone in our world today, our world needs healing. Now, I'm a believer. I was raised in the church. Am I a hellion? Yes. But you know, do I believe that there's, in Jesus Christ? Absolutely. Um, but I do sometimes will have issues with pastors that will use it as a disadvantage, because they have been ministers that I've seen that have just used it for their personal gain, just like politics, right? They use it for their personal gain. You're surrounded by a lot of funds and money, and it's like, wait a minute, some of your members are really struggling, and you're over here showing off your new vehicle or your new clothes and this and that and the other. It can be a little iffy, right? um there I go back to saying money is always difficult when you speak with when you speak to your congregation. There was a time where the IRS was crashing down, not crashing downs, but they were really what's the word I'm looking for? They were going after mega pastors and their finances, because it just some of the stuff wasn't making sense. It's like, wait a minute, why did you purchase a gold toilet seat? Why do you have it there? Why in this period you've went on these many trips and that many trips and this and that, and this was paid by the church for the church, isn't that? There's been ministers asking the church for a new jet after the man has four, and I'm not going to say any names, but you know who you are. um there's been ministers asking for this and that, and it's just like, what is going on here? Like, this is, and it's sad because there's so much. When you look at powerful voices, right, a lot of those powerful voices are ministers, because you look at their audience that they have. Look, there's people that they hold. I mean, okay, I'll use Joel Osteen for example. His church was the old, I think, Houston Rockets stadium. Okay, that's his church. A basketball stadium is a church now. Like, it's just and that's just on a Sunday. That's not even counting the millions that watch on YouTube, or the millions that subscribe to their website, the millions that get the audience from abroad and overseas. Like, these ministers have a huge platform. So it can be touchy. So let me go ahead and read this. This is reported by uh blacknews.com. It says here, black pastor being called shady for asking church members to donate $2,100 each. It says here that Pastor Keion Henderson of Lighthouse Church in Houston, Texas, has called on his congregation and supporters to help raise $4 million to not only repair the damage caused by Hurricane Burl. I didn't even know the name, but also to build a larger place of worship. Okay. The hurricane severely damaged the church's north campus, leaving it unusable In a heartfelt message delivered on a Sunday, Pastor Keion urged 2,100 people to contribute $2,100 each within 21 days, aligning with what he describes as a divine vision. Now, again, for those who are not believers, they're going to be like, please get the divine vision. I'll get out of here. Let me continue to read. I just wanted to pull up something here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Am I getting close to it? Hold up. There we go. Okay, so oh, so says here, according to Atlanta Black Star, the fundraising campaign titled Out of the Harbor symbolizes a ship venturing out of a safe harbor into the unknown to fulfill its purpose. The Lighthouse Church, which serves over 20,000 members across 4 campuses in different regions of Houston, has been struggling with overcrowding and parking issues, especially at its North Campus. Pastor Keion shared that up to 600 people were being turned away each week due to this limited capacity. He expressed his belief that God intended for the church to grow, saying, I want to double the size of our sanctuary so that no one is turned away because we don't have a seat. In the wake of the hurricane damage, Pastor Keion reached out to his mentor, Pastor Joel Osteen, for assistance. As a result, Lighthouse services are being temporarily hosted at Lakewood Church with Pastor Osteen's support. Now, I'll be honest, I had some issues with Osteen, not personally because I never met the guy, but at the time when they had their hurricane a while back, and it was on the news and all that stuff, y'all heard about it. He never opened the doors for a lot of the residents in Houston. I'm talking when it was flooding happening. Like, he's like, no, the doors were never open. You have one of the largest buildings that could bring on a lot of folks that was struggling. To me, that was I didn't think that was fair. I didn't like that response. And I didn't appreciate that, especially for those who were like, oh my gosh, where can I go to? Where can I go to? I mean, dude, open the church. You didn't want to damage the carpet, or you didn't want to like, come on now. In which most business, it was a furniture store. It was businesses and other recreation centers had opened it for the residents. Why can't you? As I continue to read this, it says that however, the details of this arrangement are still being finalized despite the uncertainty. Pastor Keion emphasized the urgency of the situation, stating that they cannot wait for insurance companies to step in. So you could just have your insurance company take care of the damages. Instead, you're asking for individuals because your patience level is like, no, we don't have time. We got to keep it moving. No, that right there, I don't appreciate that right there. He appealed directly to those who have been touched by the ministry to contribute to ensure that the church community is not displaced for an extended period. Now, we don't know the finances of his members. I mean, with over 20,000 members, yes, there are probably 2,100 of them that could afford to pay $2,100. It could, but and it could be the opposite. It could be, hey, majority of my Congress might not make 6 figures, right? Just that's just the way it is. But again, with Texas, is a state where you have people that have pretty good incomes, especially in the Houston area. So it could be a possibility. It says here that the North Campus, the Lighthouse Church sustained significant damage during Hurricane Beryl, which included a collapsed roof, severe electrical and water issues. Now, Pastor Keion shared images of the destruction and warned his congregation to be wary about potential scams soliciting donations. Despite his earnest pleas, some critics have accused him of using the disaster as a means to extract money from his followers, especially in the light of his and his wife Shawnee O'Neal's public profiles. Now, look, a lot of people know Shawnee O'Neal has money, is a celebrity, but that doesn't mean she's supposed to take money out of her own pocket to put in there. Now, let's be honest. Shawnee inherited that church, what, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago? She hasn't been married. They haven't been married that long. So to say, oh, why can't they just put their own money into it and this and the other? No. And then I'm just looking at some of the comments on social media. Okay, a little bit of stuff is, one person said, don't you have insurance to rebuild? Some others had said, some people said, hey, Keion, I want you to turn to your wife and say, neighbor. That's actually a good one. That's old church from neighbor. That's funny. That's a good one. One person said, this is why everyone is spiritual and no longer religious, because our religious leaders are scaring away people with greed. I wouldn't fully go there, but he you know what, that individual does have a point, because those people do exist, but I won't say that's the majority. But the sad thing is greed is all around. Greed is all around. And that's the sad part. I don't know what you heard about me, but a pastor can't get $1 out of me. Oh, okay, that's somebody else. So that was just some comments right there that I read. But for those who, well, Shawnee O'Neal, now Shawnee Henderson, known for a role of Basketball Wives in her previous marriage to Shaquille O'Neal, has also faced scrutiny. Her memoir, Undefeated, released earlier this year, sparked controversy with revelations about her past relationship with O'Neal. Critics have questioned why she and Pastor Keion do not fund the church's rebuilding efforts themselves, given their combined wealth. Again, no, I won't. I love my job, so I won't really go go there. Well, no, I will go there. F what people think about your own finances, okay? Because stop assuming what you know what they have in their pockets. For real. A lot of people need to realize that successful people are not always people with a lot of money. You can be successful with all your accomplishments, but you can't be successful. I mean, they could easily have, I'm going to just say, they can easily have $5 million in the bank. Okay. That's what they have. Could they afford? No, but you don't even know if they have put some of their money into the damages. That's why it could have been more than that. You heard Pastor Keion say the building is $20 million. The building is worth $20 million. Damages, no one said the damages comes to the price of $4 million. No one said that. He just asked the people for a specific number amount. You don't know. He probably already has the 4 million already aside, and it costs 8 million. We don't know. So people are always quick to make allegations. And again, I get it, because it's always a touchy subject when you talk money in the church. That is always a difficult subject to discuss in a debate. When it comes to pastor salaries, like, why are they making so much money? And you're a minister. Look, they have pastors that are millionaires right now. Okay, they're pastors that are millionaires. You could, if Joel Osteen received $1 from each of his members, he would still make he would make 6 figures. Okay, maybe even more than that. So it's always a touchy subject. I'll read a little more and then I'll finish this. It says the backlash has intensified with comments on social media, as I read you a few before, where skeptics have suggested that Pastor Keion and Shawnee should use their personal finances to cover their costs. Reports estimate that Keion's net worth is around 8 million and Shawnee O'Neal's at 35 million. Ooh, that is a lot of million, ain't it? Leading. Never mind. I might take all that stuff back I just said earlier. No, I'm joking. Leading to some argue that the fundraising efforts are unnecessary. The situation has sparked a broader debate about the ethics of religious fundraising, especially when the leaders involved are perceived to be financially well off. That's a great argument that I probably will continue on the program, because I have a lot of great connections with different successful ministers, at least from different parts of the U.S. So we might make that into some form of a series on the show, because that is a good question when it comes to religious fundraising. That is quite interesting. Well, look, again, I'll put my 2 cents in. I don't think this man is, doing it for for personal gain. I honestly think, hey, I have 20,000 members. It's a lot. It's not an easy job being a pastor over 20,000 individuals. It's not. On the side, he goes to other churches and speak. He writes books, probably does marriage counseling. Like, it's a lot. So this is just a simple way to say, look, y'all, the church is suffering. If we could, gather up some money. I mean, again, it's not his job to take money out of his own pocket. Now, yes, it is his church. That is his business. That is his brand. That is his way of making money. But once again, old school churches will do the same thing. We gotta do these for those church repairs, saints, and we have some electrical problems that we got to take care of. I mean, come on now. We've heard it before. So let's not think this is like not normal for pastors to ask their congregants to help fund repairs in the building. So y'all hop off, like, literally. Like, it's just like, go do something else. Okay, guys, before we go to a commercial break, I have to acknowledge another proud supporter of the Arrington Gavin Show, Rugged Evolution Beard Care. That's right, Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Rugged is the new smooth, with 17 scented beard balms, beard oils, conditioning shampoos. They have everything that you need to help enhance and your facial hair maintenance, beard care maintenance, the whole 9 yards, right? It keeps your skin looking great, keeps your facial hair looking great. If you have a mustache, goatee, beard, you name it. They are an amazing brand of all natural products. Let's see, exfoliating soaps, body wash, beard oils. They have everything that you need, especially for you ones that are just now growing facial hair, and for those who are I don't know, maybe just thinking about it. You might have a baby face and I'm thinking my wife might not like it, but she did enjoy it when it was during the pandemic, because I grew it out. Hey, I'm about to retire from the military. I think I want to grow up my facial hair. I'm in need of a product. Look, Rugged Evolution, baby. So all you have to do is just go to ruggedevo.com. That's www.ruggedevo.com for more information. All right, my friends, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new.
right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show here on WDJY 99.1 FM. Straight talk out of Dallas, Georgia. That's right, my friends, out of Dallas, Georgia. All right. So next up, I wanted to bring up this story. Former English teacher turned OnlyFans star. So for those who are like, what is OnlyFans? OnlyFans is an exclusive content page where people will basically create content, and they do so for a certain price for subscribers. So it can be chefs, trainers, comedians, and then you also have the people that are into the nasty. All right, you got adults, film stars, I believe, on there. You got models on there. You have celebrities that do like risque stuff, but it's subscription based only. So they are on there and they're like, hey, look, you can check this video out for a certain price. So there's been so many stories of individuals turning to OnlyFans, maybe actresses. Matter of fact, most recently, and I'm forgetting her name, but she was a soprano. She was on The Sopranos, and she has an OnlyFans page, making a lot of money from there. Tori Spelling from 90210, I believe she's leaning towards OnlyFans. The girl that played Vanessa on the Bernie Mac show, she does OnlyFans. Like, a lot of people have been going to OnlyFans to make some extra cash, and it's actually being very lucrative for them. So this is actually a report, I believe, by ABC News, and let me pull up this soundbite for you so you can check out this video, and I will get your take after. Let me see here.
Last fall, Brianna was a high school English teacher in suburban St. Louis.
My favorite part was teaching Shakespeare. I mean, the kids loved it. So we did Romeo and Juliet. We did things like Macbeth.
As rewarding as teaching can be, it's no secret that salaries for teachers aren't as high as they should be.
I made $42,000 per year. Missouri is one of the lowest paying states in the country for teacher pay. So,
were you able to make ends meet?
No, my husband was also laid off at the time. He had student loan debt, car loans, credit card debt, you name it.
When Brianna saw her friend's OnlyFans page, she got an idea.
So at first, it was just like me and my husband, just like boy-girl stuff, girl stuff, just me, but didn't show my face at all.
She said her income grew by $5,000 a month.
We could pay our rent, but I also didn't know how much of a risk there was going to be. So at the time, it was me thinking, well, can they actually fire me for this?
Did you feel like as a teacher, you were crossing the line?
Well, I wasn't doing anything illegal. I'm there to teach reading and writing. Like, I'm not there to instill their moral.
Last fall, Brianna was a high school English teacher in suburban St. Louis.
My favorite part was teaching Shakespeare. I mean, the kids loved it. So we did Romeo and Juliet.
So you see it right there that this educator, because that's what she was an English teacher, and she enjoyed what she was doing. But at the end of the day, you hear right there, she said she made $42,000 a year. $42,000 a year. And then she mentioned that her husband was laid off. So it's hard to feed two people, for the time being, off of $42,000 a year. Now, from $42,000 a year to now $2 million a year. I mean, just maybe I might need to do some OnlyFans, huh? I've been in the gym. I probably need to shave too, because I'm a little on the hairy side. But seriously though, like, guys, what's your take on when you hear stories like this, right? This is a judgment-free zone. And like she said, she didn't think she was doing anything wrong. It wasn't like she was sharing that while she was teaching. Now, that brings up another question, because is it inappropriate? Is it wrong for a teacher to also have a side hustle that might be inappropriate for children? So, for example, let's take OnlyFans out. What if there's a teacher that works at Hooters, or is a bartender, or is a I don't know, I'm trying to think, works at a strip club? Like, I mean, again, her side hustles is nowhere involved in the school system. She doesn't speak on it. She doesn't say, "Hey y'all, before y'all leave, y'all might subscribe to my OnlyFans. Thank you." Like she kept it totally separate and start off with just covering her face. Now she's obviously not doing it anymore. As far as covering her face, she's still very much doing OnlyFans because hey, $2 million, $2 million, girl, you got to keep on making that money. But I think it's a good argument to bring up because is it unfair for her to, if she wants to still continue to teach, would that be unfair and inappropriate for students? And I guess it could be difficult for teenagers and high schoolers because look, they have access to all social technology. They'll find a way to say, hey, look, you see such and such, Mr. Did you see that, bro? I'm subscribed to. And then it's like, whoa, now you're involving, so I can see it being kind of back and forth, but it's so much stuff you can impact. How you can impact in this. It shows how much you need to pay attention at why there's teachers out there that are fighting for better wages. Because was this girl's initial mission was to do OnlyFans? Probably not. She said she had friends that did. Like, okay, let me try it out. What's wrong to just show off a little bit, right? Show off my. I'm very open and free with my body. Let me just show off some bathing suit pics, right? But 42,000 a year as a teacher, I don't care which age group it is, they should not be making at a minimum. I would love to see teachers making at least 75. Okay, at a minimum, because they help provide the future for our youth. Now I'm saying elementary school, that just should be the start off price. Now y'all probably be like, Arrington, that's too low, you going crazy, or Arrington, that's a little too high. I don't know what the average teacher salary is. I didn't really do my research on that, but I just think it's unfair for people to have to say, look, I have to do this in order to make ends meet. And she's perfectly fine now because she's making a lot of money, and kudos to her. Yeah, kudos to her, man. She is, and this was just a side hustle. Now it's a full-time thing. So yeah, the question is, should this type of content creation cause teachers to lose their jobs? And that's my question for you all. You can DM me at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, or leave a comment below this video. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that? I think it was quite interesting. Okay, so next story I want to bring up is this involves individuals who are wrongfully convicted, and they receive cash amounts, right? Cash awards, but rewards, but I don't think it's enough. So recently there was a gentleman who was wrongfully convicted. I think he served like 50 years, and he's now 71 years old, and they gave him, I think, $7 million. Now let's be honest, I feel as though if I'm serving 51 years for a crime that I did not commit, then I should get $1 million per year. Am I wrong? Please let me know. And this article I'm about to bring up is reported by the Neighborhood Talk on Instagram, and says here, yes, 71-year-old man awarded $7 million after spending nearly 50 years in prison because police falsified a witness statement to charge him with a murder he didn't commit. Because police falsified a witness, they were the wrong. Okay, pay that man $71 million. How old is he? 71. Give me 71 million, or give me 50 million. One of the two, however you want to do it. But I'm getting $1 million per year. I hate when I always read articles and people are like, yeah, he served almost majority of his life, but they just gave him 5 million or 3 million. No, sky's the limit. What I could have done if I wasn't in jail. The sky's the limit. Sky's the limit of what I could have done. So I want y'all to pay me, and that's why I want to bring this up, y'all, because I feel as though that certain states or certain politicians should bring this up to to Congress, should bring this up to their state legislatures. When people are wrongfully convicted and they're serving more than 10 years, their reward should be worth their while. 7 million is not enough. It's not. And it's disrespectful because they're probably like saying, well, he's 71. How many years do you think he's going to live? It was 71. So let's give him 7 million. No. Excuse me. That man has a family. Okay. He might want to really live up like this man is free. He has pure freedom now. Let him enjoy it. It's ridiculous, man. It is straight up ridiculous. How am I looking? What time? Let me do a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm gonna bring up the another question involving women proposing to men, and instead of the norm where men normally propose to women. Don't go anywhere, my friends. We're gonna do another quick commercial break here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere, and do not change that dial.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, ladies and gents, welcome back. So good that you are still staying with us for this hour. I know it's late, but hey, look, it's a party as always. Look, as I mentioned before, the show, the the question came about of what's your take on women proposing to men? And honestly, guys, I could care less, but I do think it brings a great, conversation starter because I proposed to my wife. Now, if she would have proposed to me in public, would I have said yes? Yes. But would I have been slightly embarrassed? Yeah, because my wife always teases me. We always joke around, like if we're walking or whatever, and say I'm driving, she will come and try to open the door for me. I'm like, no, no. You don't have to get that out. Let me carry that. This and that and the other. That's how I do. That's how I do. So recently, I saw a video of NBA star, former NBA star Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas played around 13 years professional in the NBA. In professional basketball. I think he did maybe like 12 years in the NBA. But he recently started a media company, and he's hosts a podcast called the No Chill Podcast, right? And he ended up launching another one called Gil's Arena. I know he's on Nightcap with Club Shay Shay and Chad Johnson from time to time, mainly speaking on basketball. So he's been going viral. He's viral mainly for his takes on things, right? People enjoy getting his opinion on stuff. So recently it was a video of him and his fiance at the club, and she surprised him with an engagement ring. Now, she didn't get on one knee or anything, but she surprised him with an engagement ring, nice engagement ring. And he joked around like, oh, put it on my finger, please. Look at that ring, look at that rock. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. But he had already proposed to his now fiance, and so she just wanted to return the favor and surprise him with a ring. Now, I have seen a different videos and clips of women proposing to men. So I bring up this because I want to let you guys on a little secret here. Let me try and bring it up. Okay, it says here, according to a 2017 survey, only 61 out of 12,657 brides proposed to their grooms, less than 1%. Now, the question is, why is this the case? It says here, same-sex marriage has been federally legal since 2015. Since founding Holden in 2018, we've held. I'm sorry. This is from a reading something totally different. But as far as that statistic that I just gave you guys earlier, yes, around 61,000. That was from a 2017 survey. 61 out of 12,000 plus brides proposed to their groom. And I wonder where did it all, like, who started? Who's the first person to start doing that trend? Just out of curiosity. And if I speak to most men, I guarantee you they will say absolutely not. Why? Because they feel as though it makes them less of a man, right? Less masculine to have a woman get on one knee and propose to them rather than us doing it. Like, I guarantee if I go up to men right now, they're gonna have that. They're gonna say the exact same thing. Again, it's different times now. A lot of quote unquote traditions are now, the narrative is being changed and things like that. Not everybody is rushing to get married before they live in together, right? Or have kids and all this. Like, it's everything. Times change. Times change 24/7. But I do think it's pretty interesting that's one that always kind of gets everybody talking, like, I don't know about that. Like, is she gonna get on one and be like, would you marry me? Sure. Like, it's an interesting feeling. It's an interesting feeling. And I remember one time, like, I was looking for my ring around the house and my wife was messing with me and she got on one knee and did it out. It's just we joke around like that. But again, I go on to being more serious of, fellas, what is your take on a woman proposing to you rather than you proposing to a woman? I want to get your take on that. Leave a comment below or DM me at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram. We're getting close to that time, but I hope that you all enjoyed this conversation. It's going to be a busy moment. As I mentioned before, we've been talking a lot about politics throughout this season, and I will have some more great conversations with professionals in the political field, locally, state, and on a federal level. And we're gonna get those conversations going. It's a big election season. Make sure that you are registered to vote. If you are not, please do make sure your friends and family are registered as well, because it's a lot at stake at this on this upcoming election. Make sure you are very involved on what's happening in your local communities too, election wise, because local is extremely important. Wow, Arrington, you cannot talk right now. Extremely important. Okay, and make sure that you do your research on different candidates and what you want to see in the next election cycle. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. That is all I got for you. So y'all take care, stay blessed. Please, please, please continue to support the Arrington Gavin show. We couldn't do this without you. Again, we drop new episodes every evenings across all the podcast platforms, digital and streaming platforms. YouTube, you can subscribe and follow us on our Smooth Club Media on YouTube. For you Rumble subscribers out there, you can follow the Arrington Gavin show on Rumble, and as well as on the radio airwaves on WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk out of Dallas, Georgia, as well as online on WDJYFM.com. Make sure to follow WDJY 99.1 FM on Instagram as well, and the Arrington Gavin show on Instagram. I'll pop in from time to time doing some lives and interviews through Instagram and even Facebook. We have some great content and great things coming forth for you, and we just want to help continue to change the narrative. We are unbiased platform, independent grassroots program. We're not going to give you the cookie cutter BS that you see in a lot of mainstream media. We're just going to keep it up front and keep it real with you and keep it engaging, right? We're going to have fun. We're going to keep it informative and just opinionated. This is our honest opinion. Why? Because I'm a person that respects others' opinions. So we're going to welcome all people, regardless of political backgrounds, religious backgrounds, sexual orientation. We don't care. Everybody is welcome here. We are all one big happy family. So once again, I thank you for you taking the time out your schedule to sit back, relax, and listening to the Arrington Gavin show. Be sure to tune in weeknights on at 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM, straight talk. Until next time, my friends, y'all take care. Stay safe, stay blessed, and just be kind to one another.